thought it was 15.
Wow. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hump Day. Today is Wednesday, and it is now our final 10 episodes reviews of the greatest TV series, in my honest opinion, the A-Team. So, for the next 5 weeks, approximately, we'll go through, well, today we're going through episodes 4 and 5, then 6, 7, then 8, 9, then 10, 11, and finally 12, 13. And then we'll do a really quick review of the rebooted A-Team that came out with Liam Neeson playing Hannibal from 2010. So, and hello, Opal Maydew. Wow, hello, Opal. You're first in the box today. Wow, I hadn't seen you in a long time. It's good to see you, Opal. Definitely a long time. And hello, Kevin's Theme Park Adventures. Hey, Mikey. Hello, sir. Well, welcome, Opal. Mwah, welcome. Glad to see you both. Okay, so let's see. After today, so 2, I'm just counting this myself. 3, 4. Okay, so 4 more weeks of A-Team on Wednesdays, and then when I'm done doing the when I'm done doing the final review about the rebooted 2010 A-Team, then I'll wait about 2 weeks, and then I'll start doing the mysteries. The first one with my friend PvP. The time will be 7 p.m. on Wednesday nights. Well, for PvP, it'll be different because he works on Wednesday till about 7 his time. So it'll be 10 o'clock for him. But for future podcasts and watch parties for the mysteries we're going to examine, that's usually going to start at 7 p.m. And I'll have a different panelist every time I do it. And it'll be every 2 weeks. Yeah. So like I say, I'll wait 2 weeks after I'm done with A-Team and do the mystery with Lake Okanagan Monster with PvP. Then wait 2 more weeks, and then I'll do another mystery with someone else. Probably the Phoenix Lights. I'd like to have Larry do to help me co-host so that we can talk about the Phoenix Lights back on March 13th, 1997. And to this day, people say it's an unidentified aerial phenomenon. It wasn't known as anything else. And it's been going on ever since then, actually, a couple times after that time. So I am watching Lilo and Stitch live action on Disney Plus. Wow. Yeah, I heard about that one. Opal, okay. My job keeps me busy. That's awesome, Opal. I'm glad that you are working hard. You're a good hard worker there, young lady. We appreciate you. Okay, so today, like I said, we'll be doing episodes 4 and 5. One more time, I want to thank very much my brother, Jay Aldridge, down there in Louisiana. He helped me out with the first 3 episodes of season 5 of A-Team. We went over them. That was the trial episodes. Those are done now. So now things are supposed to go downhill from here. So, yeah, no thanks to Eddie Velez, who plays Frankie Santana. And the other reason that I think this thing went down, first of all, well, actually, a couple of reasons. One, they were running out of ideas. And secondly, when you bring someone like Robert Vaughn, who did Magnificent Seven, on top of what George Papard did in Westerns, and you also have Ego Trips. Oh, yeah. Man from U.N.C.L.E. when he did, and all that stuff, Vaughn. Yeah, you had an ego trip between now that George Papard had to fend off, continue trying to prove that he was the reason it's staying afloat, the series, and not a Mr. T. But now you got Robert Vaughn in the mix. So now you got 3 people fighting over ego trips. Yeah, not a good combination. Anyway, all right, so let's get to episode 4 called Quarterback Sneak. And 6.3 out of 10 from 320 people. That is a C for me. Yeah, it is a very low C. An East German scientist is perfecting a powerful chemical weapon and is willing to defect. The team goes there undercover as a football team that will challenge a German group of athletes in an exhibition contest of American football. That premiered on Friday, October 17th, 1986. Okay. That was directed by stunt coordinator and part-time director Craig R. Baxley. It was written by Paul Birnbaum, who also helped out alongside the regular writers Frank Lupo and Stephen J. Cannell. Of course, it has the usual cast of characters: George Papard as Hannibal, Dirk Benedict as Face, Dwight Schultz as Murdoch, and of course, Mr. T as B.A. Baracus. It then has Eddie Velez as Frankie Santana, who we all call the Oliver of the A-Team from season 5, because he basically killed it in a bad way, and Robert Vaughn as General Hunt Stockwell. So actually, we're just going to look at a couple of those football players that participated in the episode. One of them was, and these are going to be well-known names, so we'll just go over them real quick. Joe Namath, of course, and then Jim Brown. So let's take a look at the trivia. All right. The teams are... It's not bad. Okay. The teams are wearing uniforms of the USFL teams, the LA Express and New Jersey Generals. The LA on the helmet was modified into a TA to match the fictional team's name. Also, footage of an actual game between the two teams is used in the episode. At the time this was broadcast, the idea of playing American football anywhere in Germany would have been absurd, but in recent years, American football has become quite popular, and in 2022, which basically means 35 years later, an NFL game will be played in Germany as a regular season game for the first time. Isn't that amazing? Okay, let's take a look at goofs. Okay, first there's continuity. The hand BA uses to hold on to the helicopter changes. Since his other hand is holding on to someone else, it would be impossible to change hands while dangling from a helicopter that is flying. Incorrectly regarded as goofs. The opening scene shows a soccer match. The rest of the episode is about American football. The writer needed some excuse for the East Germans to be in the USA so that the rest of the story could take place. It also set up a European football versus American football plotline. Here's a spoiler. After hearing Frau Strasser escaped, Hannibal allowed his team to win the match. Hannibal incorrectly assumed Murdoch is safe, though Murdoch couldn't rescue Frau Strasser while being captured and transported on the chopper, and Face couldn't help Murdoch when the latter was out of reach. The conclusion is that Face rescued Strasser and Murdoch was still in danger. Hannibal couldn't assume that he was being told the truth. The only option was to continue with the plan and hope for the best. Okay, and there's a couple of revealing mistakes. It says here, actor Alan Autry's character Hammer has two different numbers on his jersey. On the shoulders is the number 12, but on the front and back is number 14. Okay, the stock footage used as part of the American football match is of different quality than in the TV footage, and a lot more people in the background. In some parts, one can even see spectators despite there supposedly not being any in the stadium. The guards wear Dutch police uniforms. The cars shown in East Berlin are mostly West German makes: Volkswagen, Mercedes, BMW, and French cars. The Citroën 2CV van has Temps written on its side. That's French. The East German's Bell 212 helicopter has an American registration of N212CR. Actual German aircraft registrations began with the letter D. Okay, and there's one more. In the final part of the football game, in the huddle and through the final seconds of play, BA is not being played by Mr. T. His double looks nothing like him, with totally different build and physique, and does not appear to have a beard. Mr. T resumes playing BA with the celebrations immediately following victory. And in a miscellaneous goof, A sign supposed to be in East Germany reads, Forschungs Laboratorium. It should read Forschungs Labor instead. And then there's an error in geography. The wall shown here is not in East Berlin. Okay, and then there's lastly two character errors. At the beginning, Dr. Strasser is with the East German delegation touring in the USA. There's no reason for him to be there, especially since it is pointed out he is behind schedule on completing his project, and the authorities would fear he could defect while in the USA. At the end, the two women are trying to talk Face and Frankie to go skiing with them, and Face says they're not going to let the women trick them again like they did at the beginning. But General Stockwell is already there, so what could Face think they were trying to trick him into doing? Okay. All right, let's take a look at the locations. Okay, looks like they just filmed around LA. So I guess they made LA look like it was over in East Germany or something. That's hilarious. Okay, let's take a look at the cast and crew. All right, so we're going to look at Joe Namath and Jim Brown. I think they're both gone. Let me see. Okay, Joe Namath, actor and football player for the New York Jets. The quarterback, he is still alive. He was born May 31st, 1943. So he just celebrated his 82nd birthday this year. Cool. Joltin' Joe Namath, the son of a steelworker from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. Joseph William Namath, or Joe Willie, came from the rich football tradition that is in Pennsylvania. After starring for Paul Bear Bryant's Alabama Crimson Tide teams in the 1960s, Namath was drafted by both the National Football League, St. Louis Cardinals, and the rival American Football League's AFL New York Jets in 1965. Namath, known as a brash performer in college, signed with the Jets for a then record $450,000 and gave the upstart struggling AFL team a boost. They upset the Baltimore Colts in the Super Bowl III by the score of 16-7. One of the greatest upsets in the history of sport. Oh, and by the way, he practically guaranteed they were going to win. So there are still rumors that he made a deal with the devil, and that's why they won. Okay. All right. Now, some of his acting credits. He was in a movie called CC and Company, where he played CC Ryder. That was in 1970. Also in 1970, he played Joe William Reese in a movie called Norwood. And then in 1979, he was in Avalanche Express, where he played the role of Leroy. And he played a football legend in 2015 in the movie The Wedding Ringer. Okay, and the last thing he worked on was a TV series called The Ed Sullivan Show Presents Sports Heroes last year, 2024. So it was a documentary that he appeared in. Very cool. Oh, and he did co-host one night of Thursday Night Football Presents in 2016. And that was the Season 3, Episode 1, the first game of the 2016 season, called the Empire Games, where it was the Jets versus the Bills. So the New York Jets versus the Buffalo Bills. Cool. All right. And that is Joe Namath. Joltin' Joe Namath. Yep, I do remember that guy. Okay, let's see. Jim Brown. All right. We did lose Jim Brown just recently. We lost him back in 2023, 2 years ago. Besides being a great football star for the Cleveland Browns, he also was an actor and a producer. And he worked on a sports special called Goliath until he died. He's been often mentioned as the greatest player in NFL history. This ruggedly handsome African-American fullback for the Cleveland Browns first appeared on movie screens in the Western Rio Conchos in 1964, followed by a strong supporting role as convict Commando Jefferson in the terrific World War II action film The Dirty Dozen from 67. He was kept busy with additional on screen appearances in other fast paced films, including Ice Station Zebra, which is a great film in 1968, 100 Rifles in 1969, and El Condor in 1970. He was born February 17th, 1936, and he died, like I said, just 2 years ago on May 18th of 2023. He was 87 years old. All right. Okay. And some of the roles he's known for, as I said, for The Dirty Dozen, 1967, he plays Robert T. Jefferson, or just Jefferson. In 1987, he was in The Running Man with, Richard Dawson and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he played Fireball in that one. And then he was on Any Given Sunday, that one with Al Pacino. And he played Montezuma Monroe in that in 1999. And back in 1996, we all knew him as Byron Williams in the great parody funny movie Mars Attacks with Jack Nicholson, among other stars, and Michael J. Fox. Okay, so in 2014, according to IMDb background information, Jim Brown appeared as himself in a movie called Draft Day, and that was in 2014. Cool. All right, so rest in peace, Jim Brown. You were a great player, definitely that. All right. There we go. Okay, before we get to the next episode, let's take a look at the chat, which apparently has exploded. Okay, so Kevin Theme Park Adventures said he was watching the live action Lilo and Stitch. And Opal Maydew said, that episode is 2 days older than me. Wow. Wow. Really cool. Roger Blair, hello, sir. Howdy, Mikey and everyone. Now, when you first enter and say hello, don't be mad because if I'm in the middle of just going through the quick, information and whatever, I don't read everything. Okay, you know that I don't do that anymore. But when I'm going through, please understand. As soon as I'm done, I get right to the chat. In between episodes, and I talk to everybody. So. I appreciate your patience. I do. That's what I mean. That's what I meant the most. Yes, hello, Roger Blair. Howdy, Mikey, and everyone. Roger says, Kevin, I picked up Lilo and Stitch movie on DVD the other day. Cool. Opal says, I borrowed it from the library, but I haven't seen it. Kevin Theme Park says, howdy to Roger. And Opal says, Arnold! Arnold Schwarzenegger! Yeah. And nice. Kevin says to Roger. All right, cool. So we have two ladies in the chat. Of course, my wife, Suzanne, is monitoring the chat today. Opal's here. We hadn't seen Opal in a while, and I'm really glad you're here today, Opal. Also, Kevin and Roger. Thank you so much, guys, for popping on in today. And we got 6 likes already. Cool. If we get 4 more likes today, we can say hashtag 10 like hype. And actually, every time I put that in, the YouTube overlords recognize it as 10 or more likes every, episode or, every podcast or webcam or live stream I do. And they add up my watch hours, which will help me towards when we get to 500 wonderful family subscriber members. And we can start becoming monetized. That'll help out a lot. So right now we're at 305. So our next big goal, of course, is 350. We're trying to go 50 at a time. And remember, if you haven't hit subscribe, please do so. Or if you did, but make sure that you're still subscribed, because every once in a while, YouTube's been removing people here and there for whatever reason, some glitches or stuff. But always make sure that you're subscribed. And then don't forget, if you have anyone else who has never been to this channel before and would love to be here, recommend the channel, share it with others. Make sure that like I said, hit the like button for today if you really enjoy this episode. And don't forget, of course, when you subscribe, let your folks know when they subscribe to make sure they hit the all notifications. The bell right here, that thing. And when they do that, then from then on, when they see where it says notification, what it'll say is notify me, and it's free. It takes 1 second. You click it, and it'll say notification on. That way, for future webcams, podcasts, or live streams, you'll be able to see it and go, oh, okay, cool. Like for tonight, after we're done here, I have a special 1v1 with my next to my brother is my other brother from another mother. One of my best friends I've known besides my beautiful wife here. Larry of Beer Stuff Adventures. We've known each other for 50 years next year. Yeah. We met each other in the summer of 1976. And next year, the summer of 2026, will be officially 50 years. We're going to have a very special live stream for that. So, but we got to figure out what exact day we actually met each other. He's really good at that. He's got some really good memory on that. So when we talk on the 1v1 tonight, we'll remind each other when that is, and I will write it down to myself so that when we celebrate it next year, James will be there. We'll have our friend James Fogel. We'll have to get Patrick Wise there. Try to get all of our friends, our gang that we knew. I'll even try to get my brother Philip to come join us for that one night. That should be a lot of fun. I hope we can do that. Okay. All right, let's get to the next episode, which is called The Theory of Revolution. Okay, this was directed by Sidney Hayers, and along with Lupo and Cannell, Stephen L. Sears also wrote it. And this got a 6.6 out of 10 from 284 people. So yes, I gave both of these episodes 4 and 5 C's. Yep, just C grades. Yeah, as I said, this was the final season of the A-Team, and it just got worse and worse and worse. It's really sad. Okay, so the plot in this one, and let me go ahead and read the summary. Okay, the members of the A-Team are living the good life with a bunch of bikini-clad babes at their private resort in Langley, Virginia, when General Stockwell arrives with his assistant Carla and Scoutmaster Murdoch. Alexander Martin, dictator of San Marcos, has taken 3 U.S. citizens hostage. The team is dropped off at San Marcos by submarine and hooks up with a group of revolutionaries. Frankie finds a love interest in the shape of a local girl, Bonita Wajevos. When Face Man is thrown into the same cell as the 3 hostages, they turn out to be American intelligence agents with Russians on their trail. Wow. Talk about a screw up. Okay. Alrighty, let's see. Well, let's definitely try to see if the girl, Bonita, there she is. Tasia Valenza plays Bonita Wajevos. All right, so we will check her out on her mini bio. I know, that didn't sound right. Okay. We'll also take a look at 2 other gentlemen. One of them is Alejandro Rey, who plays the Commandant. Alejandro Rey is pretty well known in Hollywood, but I don't think I've done a mini bio on him yet. So I'm definitely going to do that today. And then, of course, the one who plays Martin, the dictator, is Castulo Guerra. So we will take a look at those 3 people after we're done here. Okay, so let's take a look at the trivia. All right. At the beginning, the map shown as the San Marcos is really the Rapa Nui's, or Isla de Pascua, which is in Spanish, Easter Island, belonging to Chile's territory. In order of descending rank, Hannibal is a colonel, Murdoch a captain, Face a lieutenant, and B.A. a sergeant. Although Murdoch technically outranks him when Hannibal is absent, it's normally Face who takes charge due to Murdoch's apparent insanity. Hannibal, Face, and B.A. were all Green Berets, members of the U.S. Army Special Forces. In the episode A Nice Place to Visit from 1983, we see Murdoch wearing his formal uniform at a funeral and see that he was an Army helicopter pilot, but not a Green Beret. His uniform does display the parachutist badge, which is the airborne wings, showing that he has undergone paratrooper training. Frankie claims to have served as a paratrooper, although the rest of the team regard this with suspicion given his inability to use the military 24-hour clock system. This was the final credited acting role of Alejandro Rey. Wow, cool. And rare use of Beatles music, their Revolution song. All right, here's a spoiler. This is the last episode of the series where Hannibal uses his catchphrase, "I love it when a plan comes together." Yeah, when he stopped saying that, that was the other reason this series went to shit. Excuse me, I had to say one S word there. Okay, I was very disappointed. Believe me, you don't, folks. You got to understand. I was completely upset when we reached episode 13 without reservations. That's the name of it, and then of course nothing else. That was it. When they filmed it, done. We showed it, done. Nothing else came about. That was it. We were all told they canceled it the very next week. So that was it. Okay, let's see, goofs. Okay, the scenes of the A-Team back at their residence in the U.S. at the end of the episode were obviously filmed at the same time as the scenes at the residence at the beginning of the episode, as everyone is wearing the same clothes and BA's model airplane is still in one piece. While disguised as the executioner, Hannibal lightens the noose around Bonita's neck twice. Okay, here's a factual error. The Hughes MD500, which was model 369D CN1290624D, has a US FAA issued registration number, which was N58428. The helicopter would be unlikely to be in a South American country, as its maximum range is 375 miles, with a maximum speed of 175 miles per hour, or 152 knots for you metric people. Okay, revealing mistakes. When BA launches a mortar at the prison toilet, the resulting explosion blows a hole in the wall, which is rectangular with perfectly sharp-cut edges. Following shots were used twice. Face playing volleyball with girls, relaxing Hannibal passing a drink to a girl, and BA turning around with RC Airplane's remote. At the end of the episode, the shot of Stockwell's arrival in the Cadillac has a jump cut showing the rear of the car. The exiting driver changes position in a wink, and the brake lights go off without fading out. While the crew are discussing what weapons they need and are told they can't have any, Hannibal reaches into a pocket of the pool table and pulls an obviously fake grenade. There's not bottom, hence fake. Character errors, just two of those. When Face is being interrogated and beaten by Martine's henchmen, Face's hands are tied behind his back, but when Martine grabs Face's throat and punches him, he falls out of the chair and his hands are suddenly free. After escaping, one of the escaped CIA operatives shakes Hannibal's hand and says, "Thanks a lot, Colonel," despite having only just met him and Hannibal being dressed in civvies with no indication of any military rank. Okay. And there's, besides the Beatles Revolution song written by John Lennon and Paul McCartney, Llewellyn, boom, boom. Oh, we gotta go now. Yeah, that was written by Richard Berry. All right. So that's in the soundtrack of this episode. Now we'll take a look at the filming and production, and I don't see any. All right, cool. All right, then, let's go take a look at the cast and crew, as we said. First of all, let's take a look at Alejandro Rey. Okay. He was an actor and director in Hollywood. We did lose him, as we said. This was his last confirmed role in 1987. He was born February 8th, 1930, and when he died May 21st, 1987, he was only 57 years old. Um, he was one of the last movies he appeared in was with Robin Williams, the late Robin Williams, in Moscow on the Hudson in 1984. That is a great film too, by the way. All right, Alejandro Rey was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Buenos Aires, whatever some people say. He was an actor and director known for The Flying Nun in 1967. Of course, remember he appeared alongside Sally Field in that series. He did Terror Vision in 1986, and like I said, he was with Robin in Moscow on the Hudson in 1984. He was married to Joyce Bowman and then Beatrice Cristina Roberto, and he died in L.A. May 21st, 1987. Okay. Now, with Sally Field, uh, he played a couple different roles. Carlos Ramirez, but he was also known as Luis Ramirez, and he appeared from 1967 to 1970 in 78 episodes of that series. He played Orlando Ramirez in Moscow on the Hudson in 84. In 86, he played Spiro in Terror Vision, and in 1975, he was in the movie Breakout as Sanchez. And like we said, his very last appearance of anything was the A Team in 1986. That's it. Let's see what he passed away from. Lung cancer. Okay. He was 5'10". Oh, he was a pretty tall guy. That's a shame. Lung cancer. Okay. Okay, now we'll take a look at Castulo Guerra. Guerra played Martin, Alexander Martin, the dictator man. We'll take a look at him. All right, Castulo is still alive. He is an actor. He did a voice in for the I believe it's for the Marvel universe or the DC universe. It's called Deathstroke: Knights and Dragons from 2020 in that animated feature. Let's see. Okay, he was born August  24th, 1945. So he did have a recent birthday. So now he's 80 years old. He's an actor with an international flair and a distinguished voice. Castulo Guerra was born in Cordoba, Argentina, in August 24th, 1945, to Castulo Guerra Sr. and Maria Sola, and was nicknamed Pericles by medical students at the pension where they lived. He grew up in pre-Andean Salta in northern Argentina. In 1961, while attending high school at the Colegio Nacional, he became dazzled with film while watching Taras Bulba in 1962, with Yul Brynner and Tony Curtis being shot on the rolling hills of Salta. And then he proceeded to go into acting after he saw them there live. Okay. And he's been in a few recent films. He was in with Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 2 Judgment Day, where he played Enrique Salceda. He was in, and that was 91. In 95, he was in The Usual Suspects with Kevin Spacey. He played Arturo Marquez. Then in 2001, he was the Mexican Joe, the pawn shop owner in that movie, The Mexican. And then in 2014, he appeared in one of the Purge films, The Purge, Anarchy. And he played Barney in that, 2014. And so far, last year, he worked on a podcast series as Dr. Proctor in Far Away. And he's got one project due up. It's called Bye Bye Barbarito, where he plays Antonio. It's a movie short, and it was just completed. So it should be coming out soon, if it hasn't already. So that is Castulo Guerra. Now we'll take a look at the other person. Let's see. Yeah, we're looking at Tasia Valenza as Bonita. Okay. She has worked on soundtrack before, and she's an actress. She also did a voiceover in the Batman animated game Batman Return to Arkham in 2016. And Tasia Valenza was born on April 5th, 1967, in New York City. She's an actress known for Metal Gear Solid in 1998, Metal Gear Solid The Twin Snakes in 2004, and as I said, she also worked on Batman Arkham Asylum in 2009, along with Return to Arkham in 2016. She has been married to Harvey Stern since 1995. They have 3 children. So she is 58 years old. Cool. Alrighty. So let's see. Um, in 1998, Metal Gear Solid, uh, she voiced Sniper Wolf and the computer. And then in Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes video game in 2004, again, she did Sniper Wolf and computer. In Batman Arkham Asylum in 2009, she voiced Poison Ivy, Pamela Isley, and Martha Wayne, among others. And in Batman Arkham Knight in 2015 or 2016, um, she voiced just Pamela Isley and Poison Ivy. Cool. And currently, she is this year. The last project she's worked on is Doom, the Dark Ages video game. She played a Sentinel facility voice. Was her voice on that? So very cool. So that was Tasia Valenza. Okay. Alrighty then. Well, we are done for today. So I will get back to the chat here presently, but I do want to let you folks know what's coming up next week. As I said, episodes 6 and 7. We'll look at that real quick. See the titles on that one. All right. Okay. And it actually is my only favorite episode from season 5, the Say Uncle affair. And that features David McCallum, who comes back along with, who used to play Napoleon Solo, Robert Vaughn. But Ilya Kuryakin this time, or McCallum, is a bad guy. And he kidnaps, he plays a guy named Ivan Trigorin, also known as the Brown Fox, his former partner at the CIA. And what they do is they kidnap Hunt Stockwell. And if they don't get him back in 36 hours, then the A team will have to be, they'll be told that the government, to the government, that they're alive and not dead. So that's going to be awesome. I can't wait to read that one next week, next Wednesday. And then the other episode after that is Alive at 5. So the Say Uncle affair and Alive at 5 all next week. Okay. Yeah. And Opal says, nice. My dad used to love Brenner. Oh, that's so cool. And Lizzie Armstrong. Hi, everyone. Well, welcome, Lizzie. Yeah, we have a few minutes. We got 7 likes, 3 people. Totally awesome. Cool. Yeah, so how are you doing, Lizzie? How's everything there in your neck of the Aussie land of Australia? Opal says hello to Liz. Thank you, Opal. I love how you, ladies and gentlemen, are completely wonderful people and you're able to, uh, help us out. So we really appreciate that when you welcome each other to the chat. Very kind of you folks to do that. That's really cool. Kevin says hey to Lizzie, and yeah, guys. So you got some women here in the chat. It's time to behave. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Anyway, it's so wonderful to see everybody here. So, well, we can talk about how your lives are going. How's everybody doing? Lizzie, you're doing good. Opal, you're working, which is great. I'm glad to see you. Kevin, I know you're still doing some videos, I hope. Roger Blair, I hope you continue to visit with us and hang with us. We do appreciate that. Yeah, it's great to see all of you. It really is. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anybody. Let's see. Right. So Opal, Kevin, and we've got Roger, and we got Lizzie. That's so cool. Oh, good. Thank you. It's 2:40 in the a.m. Okay. Early morning woman. Hey, there you go. That works, Liz. That works. Suzanne. Oh, she said hello to you, honey. She says hello back there, Liz. Yep. Yep. Suzanne's helping us out today. Let's see. Kevin says waves to Lizzie, and Lizzie says hello, Mikey, and prayers up. Thank you, thank you very much. Yeah, we need a lot of prayers at this time. Lizzie also says hello to Roger. Yes, and Roger Blair. Roger's here with us too. So very cool. Okay, and Opal says hi to Suzanne. Thank you, Opal. Yeah, this is great. Like I said, ladies, gentlemen, you guys are fantastic. You really are. I really love the kindness and the gentle demeanor, and all of you guys are saying hello to one another. And there's Mikey's wife. Woohoo! All right, honey. We got to make you. We got to make you the big managing moderator. There we go. All right, honey. Say something else so we can make sure that you're in there. So you got the blue wrenchy.
Nobody. I'm just a plain.
You're not nobody, honey. Just wave one more
right.
time or say hello. At least do that. Come on. So I know that we got you in there.
Oh, okay. I'll say hello.
Yeah, just say hello. Because I already told them you're a managing mod. You're taking care of the channel. You're the boss. There you are. Mwah. Hello, everyone, she says. And she waved to everybody. That is so cool. Okay. And Opal said hello to Roger and Kevin. Kevin says hello to Opal. And there's my beautiful wife saying hello, everyone. Thank you, my honey. And Milk for a snack. Welcome. Milk, I hadn't seen you in a long time. He says, I got the Blue Richie blues. Yeah, ha, ha, ha. Ooh, hose. Well, Milk, I told you had that a while ago. But thank you for coming in today. I'm glad to see you. Lizzie says, I just looked up and saw my black cat on screen. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's Moon Pie over there. She's laying in her little bassinet. Yeah. She's our oldest girl. She's, 8 years old, which is 56 in humankind years. Next year, when she turns on March 21st, 2026, will be her ninth birthday, which is spring equinox. She'll be 63. Yeah. She'll be 3 years older than Daddy. Crazy. I know. Lizzie says, yep, there it is. Opal says hello. Opal says, hi, Milk. And Milk says, what's good? And Lizzie says, hi, Suzanne. Love from Australia. Oh, thank you so much. We do have other friends too there, Liz. One of them is Carmela Fiore. She's a wonderful person. Wonderful. She's a matchmaker. She got us together when we were online. When we were only a couple online, She got us together in real life. So, yeah, Carmela's wonderful. And we also have a few other friends in Australia too. So yeah, we know a lot of people, Liz, and now we can include you in our family, knowing you there in Australia. Really nice to see you. Opal says she's living the good life. Obviously, cool. Lizzie, my Coco, the black cat, is around 8. Well, that's cool. Yeah, well, that's what our girl here is. She's 8 years old, and then we have another girl, Deja Vu, and she's going to turn 5 in December 1st. So that would be like 35 in humankind. But she's a black Mancoon. She's a Persian Mancoon cat. Yeah, she's pretty big. But she's more to love. Yeah, definitely. Opal says, just cleaning. You? Let's see. Hi, everyone. I'm Mikey's wife, Suzanne. Oh, Kevin says, how are you doing, Lizzie? And Kevin says, hey, Suzanne, Mikey's wife. Lizzie says, hi, Brother Jay. And let's see. Milk says, my seventh wife was my favorite one. They say a cat always lands on their feet, but I land on my back and it knocks the wind out of me lately. I've heard that story before. And hello, PvP. So welcome, welcome. That's great. Yes, hello, PvP, and hello, Jay. Welcome, welcome, guys. All right. Well, let's see. Anybody, if you haven't hit the like button, please do if you want to. We'd like to get at least 10 likes so we can continue to help it helps the algorithm a little bit, but it does help our chat too a little bit, so it's pretty cool. Lizzie says hi PvP again, and Opal says my cat Luna passed earlier this year. Oh, but we have a male named Cisco, and he has a condition that causes him to shake. Oh boy, like Cisco from DS9, right? Yeah. Um, Milk says to Opal, I've been putting off cleaning a bit lately. Used to find it therapeutic. Now I need therapy for the workload. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's crazy. Um, Kevin says, hope you're doing well, Lizzie. Milk says we lost a cat named Lorna Dune. Sweet, sweet cat. Rest in peace. Yes, rest in peace, Lorna Dune. Yeah, that's a shame. Yep. And Opal says, yes, he's a commander. And Opal says, I understand, Milk, LOL. Yeah. Yeah, I do understand that. Yeah, we hope to have Moon Pie and Deja Vu for at least till they're 15. 15 years old. That's what we're hoping for. If we can get it longer than 15, more the better. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, Milk from Opal. Yeah, me too, Milk. I'm sorry. Milk says, may I share a short poem on pet loss? Yeah, go ahead, Milk. We have time. Sure, a dog. Okay. All right. Let me take my glasses off here for a minute. Alrighty. While you're putting together your poem, I'll remind everybody that tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern is our 1v1 with my brother of 50 years next year. That will be Larry from Beer Self Adventures. And we'll start right on time, hopefully. It'll be 6 p.m. Pacific time for him, 8 o'clock in the Central Time Zone, or the center of the universe if you're Gorilla's Random Thoughts, and 9 o'clock for us here in the Toronto area. And tomorrow night, we'll have Gorilla's Random Thoughts. We'll be doing his Twilight Zone episodes, 4 more episodes that he's doing from the series, and which I help co-host with him and PvP and Sifdan, Sci-Fi Sifdan. No Waltons on Friday night because he's got other plans, but on Friday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific time and 2 p.m. Eastern time, myself, PvP, Curtis Selby, and Larry, my friend, will all be there for Dark Shadows. And PvP, you better get on that and pick those next 4 episodes for Friday morning. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Milk for a snack, pine cone. Okay. All right. And Lizzie says, hi, Milk. Okay, Milk says she passed in the sunlight of the kitchen. Now it's warm summer rain. I kept that tattered rug. My tears found the slower drain. People ask how I have been, knowing the answer is quite hard. Walking around the house with my heart under the black yard. into the backyard. Oh, that's a beautiful poem, Milk. Pine cone, a dog pine cone. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, thank you, Kevin. I am well. Hope you are well too. And hi, Daniel. Lizzie says. Okay, all right. And well, they might be on the hiding section. I don't see them, but if you guys see them, that's cool. Alrighty. Yeah, so after Friday morning and then Saturday afternoon, um, either Saturday or Sunday around 4:05 p.m. Eastern time, I should be helping out Charlotte. Probably more than likely Sunday because Saturday is kind of busy. Saturday I've got a 5:35 p.m. Eastern time with Chance Bartels. He's the nostalgic pod blast host, and we're talking to someone special that day in the afternoon and evening. So that should be what I'm doing just for Saturday, and then Sunday then with Charlotte, and then Gorilla's Random Thoughts. He'll be showing his Sunday, his cinema. The movie he's going to be looking at is A Night to Remember from 1958 about the Titanic disaster. It's probably one of the most accurate accounts, and it features a young David McCallum, remember, who played Ilya Kuryakin in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., among other things that he worked on. And he plays one of the crewmen on the Titanic. So, yes, good stuff there. And Milk says, hi, Lizzie. I hope your arm is strong. Yep. Milk! Big hearts. Lizzie says, Milk? Yes, LOL. My arms are strong. That's so cool. Hello, beautiful moon pie. You have to go to the bathroom? Okay. It's okay. So, we got 8 likes. We got 5 people still watching. Very cool. We're almost done. We got about 8 minutes or 10 minutes or so left. When I add myself, it'll be 9. And I know my wife has already put in, so I know she's got her like there. And if we get one more, we'll have the 10. So that'll work. That'll be great. Oh, boy. I'll tell you, a lot has happened lately. And, we had that terrible 6.0 earthquake in Afghanistan. We just found out that down in Atlanta, Georgia, this, dentist guy who lived in a $1.7 million mansion became unalive after he took his wife and his 15-year-old daughter out. Terrible, terrible. A terrible tragedy. People are being attacked by bears on hillsides or, peaks. One guy slipped from a peak. He was supposed to be a professional climber. And, and it happens. People can have anything happen. And, one thing that, Suzanne and I have found out is that life isn't guaranteed. At any time, something can happen to anybody. So it's imperative that you always make sure that you keep, aware of your surroundings, be safe out there, because you never know. And, every every morning I found this really helps me out, and I know it helps Suzanne out. Um, we usually say a little prayer to ourselves when we first wake up. We kiss each other, we hold each other real tight. We crack our backs because we're old people, so it gets all sore back there. Over here. But we say a little quiet prayer. Just a silent prayer saying, thank you, Lord, for allowing us to wake up on this beautiful day. Hope we get through the day, you know, uh, in a good manner, that we can help others today, um, you know, to feel better about themselves and so on. And we just say little things like that. And that helps us get through every single day. There might be days where we just wake up and we're too sore and we just can't, move around or do anything, or feel like doing anything. But, you know, it's like I said before, folks, you are the reason that all of you are the reason why we do this. I enjoy doing this. Suzanne loves it when I can be doing things and not being bored out of my freaking mind. So, plus, I'm a chatterbox. You all know this by now. I talk a lot. Uh, you know, but I mean, I do it because, because I'm retired. We both are, and we don't work anymore. So this gives us something to do, and we do appreciate that all of you, ladies and gentlemen, come to be a part of us and to say hello to one another, be kind to each other, gentle, everything, and that you believe in God too. I mean, that you all appreciate prayer. The power of prayer is very strong. It is. It helps a lot of people out to get through a lot of things. I wish more people understood that, but we have to educate the masses. That's pretty much what it is. And there's a moon pie moving back up there. Let's see. Lizzie says my spirit and convictions are stronger. That is awesome. Milt says you share the good news and the bad news, right? Yeah, I, I always wish they would have done that on the TV. Like, here's the good news, here's the bad news. Right, right. Lizzie says, hi, Resolute Germ. Let's see. Kevin says, Lizzie, I know your arms are strong. uh, Kevin says to Lizzie. Milk says, I haven't been bored for maybe 20 years. I have I have low times, but not boredom. Right. Too many gears turning up here for that. Yeah. And Charlotte, hello, niece Charlotte. Night Star the Werewolf. Ooh. Hello, Miss Charlotte. Good to see you, hon. And Suzanne waves and says hello to you too there, Charlotte. Kevin says, hey, Charlotte, Night Star the Werewolf. Well, it's great to see you, Charlotte. And we got 9 likes. Yay! So when I put mine in 10 like hype, I can type that in the comments at the end. And thank you all, and God bless you all for that. Thank you so much. Charlotte, our niece, while you're here, um, what have you got planned for this weekend? Let us know in the chat if you want to. Because if you got something, if you only have like a podcast or something for Saturday, I could be there for that in the chat, but I can't do a panel until Sunday because I have a very important um, being a co-host on a panel. We're having a 1v1 with a friend of Chance Portel's named Joseph, and we're going to be interviewing him. So, yeah, that's on Saturday afternoon at, like I said, at 5:35 p.m. Eastern. But if you're doing something at 4:05 p.m. Eastern, uh, you know, if you're willing, if you're doing a live stream on Sunday, that'd be great. I'll attend it. I'll be there. Yeah. And Lizzie says, hello there, Charlotte. Yeah. Everybody, I'll tell you, Charlotte is a fantastic young lady. She has a lot of great content on her channel. She writes a lot of her own songs that she puts in through Suno, which you've heard of that. That's the AI generated music and everything. She writes a lot of great songs. She wrote her own theme song for her show and her chat and live stream and the channel. So, I mean, yeah, she's done a lot of great work. And she's still trying to put together her first book. Yeah. So, she's trying to put that out there. And Lizzie says hello there to Gorillas, in case she doesn't want to forget Gorilla. There's Gap After Dark. Hi, Gap. And she says, it's good that you're recognizing all of them there, Lizzie. And, of course, Charlotte. That's awesome. Yeah. So, and we got 10. Thank you so much. Wow. Wow. Folks, you're amazing. I'm sorry. I don't have much more to say there. You're amazing, all of you. Thank you so much. Like I said, without you guys and girls, we couldn't do this. So, really appreciate you all. Really do. Okay. Well, let's say a quick prayer. And then we'll kind of go towards we'll probably look at maybe an hour maybe 10 minutes after the hour, so we're up here because my voice is starting to go. Okay, so in the name of the Father and Son and the Holy Spirit, dear Lord, thank you for everybody here that's attending the chat today. We bless all of them here as part of our extending family of wonderful subscribers in the community. 305 strong, Lord, and we're building more and more followers every day to your word. And with the help of your Son, Jesus Christ, and his mother, the Blessed Virgin Mary, and of course the Holy Spirit, who knows the difference between right and wrong, good and bad, good and evil, and also from the blessings of our patron saints, Saint Suzanne and Saint Michael the Archangel, we may be able to go through this life and help others as they help us, and to be there for others as well, and to be and try to attempt being a Christ-like person in this life. We say prayers every day. We love everyone we encounter. We appreciate everyone that comes to visit, to get away from the rigmarole, to get away from all the craziness in this world, to come to a place where it's very kind, very very compassionate. No judgments here, no prejudgments, no nothing. This is a very good channel, and I feel very blessed, Lord, that you've given us this opportunity to share our joy and goodness to others. So with all this, Lord, we ask and pray in your name. Amen and amen. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Also, we do have prayers of course, for all the victims and their families in Afghanistan. For the 3 people there in Atlanta, Georgia, pray for their souls. Pray for everyone else who has suffered a tragedy, including the shootings there in Minnesota that we had with the kids there and the families. Just pray for everyone that's in this world. They need our prayers. They need our help. And see you all on the flippy flip. All right there, Milk. Good to see you. Thank you, Milk, for coming. Milk for a snack. And yeah, Lizzie said hi, Gab. Hey, Gorilla. And good night, Resolute. Yeah, thank you, guys. Yeah, it's good to see you there, Lizzie, and everyone. Charlotte, our niece. So, alrighty, so let's thank Milk for a snack, Lizzie Armstrong, Kevin Theme Park Adventure, Charlotte Nightstar the Werewolf. Ooh. We had Roger Blair, and we also had Opal Maydew. Long overdue there, Miss Maydew. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for being here for us. We appreciate it. And there's Kevin again, Lizzie, Roger Blair, as I mentioned before. Let's see. I try to be pretty thorough when I go through everybody that's visited us today. Of course, my beautiful wife, Mikey's wife, Suzanne, taking care of the chat for us today. Love you, my baby. Let's see. So Kevin, Opal, just going through everybody. Roger Blair, there we go. So I think, yes, I believe I did mention everybody in the chat today. If I ever forget anyone, please, let me know in comments in the future, or remind me here in the chat before I leave, so I can cover everybody today. And Opal says, goodbye, everyone. Have a blessed day. And my wife is smiling. And Lizzie is saying, Opal, big hugs, flowers, and everything. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You're awesome. And we got our 10 likes, so we're good. We are good. Any other likes are golden. So thank you. We got 4 people still watching. So we're here for about 5 more minutes or so. And we'll head on out the door. And we'll be back next week. Like I said, next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with, our Get Smart Mondays. Next week we'll be doing It looks like episode 13 and 14 from season 2. And then TOS Tuesdays with the original Star Trek series, we'll be looking at episode 9 and episode 10 from season 2 there. And then, of course, next Wednesday, the greatest TV series ever made, in my honest opinion, the A Team. And we'll be looking at season 5, episodes 6 and 7 for next week. So, looking forward to that. And remember, all of those reviews start right up straight up at 12 noon Eastern. Now, sometimes we might go a few minutes early or we might go a few minutes late. So please be advised of that. So in the future, don't, just have patience. Don't get upset. I mean that, that we're not on yet or something has happened. Now, if we don't do any of these reviews at all, and there's a good reason why we wouldn't do them, would be like real life kicking its butt in the door or whatever, we'll let you folks know. We will definitely let you know if nothing comes up. Okay. Or if something does come up, real life, we have to handle that. So yeah. So don't worry. I'll let you guys know. And Lizzie says you all have nice voices. Oh, thank you, Liz. And Lizzie says thank you very much, Elvis. Oh, thank you very much, Elvis. Yeah, very cool, very cool. Okay, well, a couple things we believe in here, as my brother Larry always says: always be yourself. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Just be your humble self, and you know, help others as they help you. Be there for others as they be there for you. You know, if it's for the least of my brothers, you do it for me. That's what Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, said. So make sure you try to do that in life. Do the best you can. That's all that God asks of you. Won't ask any more of you. He just asks what He asks of you. That's all there is to it. My wife, who is of course Universal Life Church minister, as part of the Catholic Church Extended. She always says, leave everything in God's hands. It's a great piece of advice. Hope that you can follow that some days. When you think about things that are terrible or whatever, and you think that maybe you can't handle it, just say, God, I leave this in your hands, in your capable hands, and God will take care of you. Don't worry about that. And as I said, prayers are very powerful, very strong. And what I say here in our chats and our live streams is remember, always expect the unexpected, not only here at MikeySuzeFour, but in life itself. So make sure you always expect the unexpected times. Yeah. And be ready for them. Yeah. Okay. And of course, there was that great guy way back, Siskel and Ebert at the movies. Mr. Gene Siskel used to work for the Chicago Tribune. Well, of course, Siskel and Ebert both have passed on, so rest in peace to both gentlemen. But Gene Siskel was my favorite nerd back then, and I had taken a cinema course in college so that I could learn how the movie critics work. And Siskel was great at that. I mean, he was the typical nerd. He had his big glasses. He had his pocket protector sometimes. He must have been hiding under his nice, sweater or whatever he was wearing at the time. But I did get permission from the family and the foundation to go ahead and say, and now the aisle is closed, which he did pretty much every episode that he worked with Roger on that. And Lizzie says to Gil, there we go, cool. Yeah, so so then as we finish today, and we're just about done, I do want to say again, God bless America, God bless Canada, God bless the UK and all around England and everything there. And Lisa Hogan, our best friend there in the UK, from Suffolk, England. Hopefully, she'll be here to visit it with us in later this month. She says that Toronto is her second home, so we would love for her to. We would love for us to see her and be with her again. And don't worry, Lisa, we'll take care of the food this time. Okay, we'll take care of it. Yeah, so she is her channel is called Travel with Lisa MH, and she goes all around. She's a world videographer, has some good videos there. So check out her channel, um, and appreciate that. And Kevin, is this your other gaming channel? Oh, okay, all right. And Gap, all the best. Says hi to your mom. Oh, thank you. And amen. Yeah. And Kevin, is that your is that your other channel, the Kevin Gaming channel? And prayers to Lizzie Armstrong. Thank you, Kevin. Oh, and thank you. Prayers to Mikey's wife. Thank you, Kevin. Um, yeah, Kevin, if that's your other channel, you can promote it if you want, Kevin. If that's your other one, Kevin Gaming channel, I could promote that for you too if you want, or you can do that. Yeah. One last thing that I want folks to remember is because you're a Blue Wrench, uh, means that you're allowed to go ahead and promote your YouTube channel. And if you have put recent content on it, or if you just like to hang out with our chats and our future live streams from our other channels or other friends' channels on this community, then go ahead and show it that way too. We always encourage it. Suzanne and I always say, if you get a chance, put your link in there so that people can also subscribe to you, as well as share things you do there, and hit the likes for your future streams. So yeah, please make sure you do that. And good night, Gorilla. Thank you, Liz. All right, so and last but not least, make sure you say God bless to the world. Make sure we all become stewards of the world to take care of it. And remember, don't piss off Mother Nature ever. Okay? And of course, peace from MikeySuzeFour channel. So on behalf of my beautiful girls, Moon Pie over here, Deja over there, and of course my beautiful wife, Suzanne, and myself, we want to thank all of you for coming again to these reviews that we do Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays at 12 noon Eastern, straight up time at the time of lunch hour. We call it Lunchtime with Mikey and Suze. And I hope all of you have a great rest of your day, the rest of this weekend coming up. And I hope you all had a great Labor Day over the weekend. And I know the U.S. Labor Day falls on Sunday this coming weekend. So hopefully all of you will have a chance to enjoy yourselves and some firecrackers. So have some fun out there. All right. Well, take care, everyone. We'll see you next time on MikeySuzeFour. And of course, God bless you all. And Hillary Kell too. Thank you, Lizzie. And thank you, everyone.